Hey guys, Sornerid here, and welcome to Overwatch Hero Guides. So today we're going to be going over Junkrat. His primary attack is his frag launcher. It has 5 shots, is semi-automatic, and can do tons of explosive damage. His first ability is called the Concussion Mine. It is a mine that can be placed virtually anywhere and can detonate at the press of a button. His second ability is called the Steel Trap. You can lay this down anywhere on the floor and it can trap enemies for a certain amount of time. Junkrat's ultimate is called the Riptire. You can control this Riptire and detonate near enemies to do massive damage. Junkrat has a passive called Total Mayhem. When he dies, he drops a bunch of bombs where he died, killing anyone around him. Now that you know all of his abilities, I'm going to be teaching you tips and tricks and when to use them. His frag launcher has 5 shots and has a reload time of 1.5 seconds. It has a 2 meter explosive radius and explodes on impact if you hit an enemy. However, if you miss, it continues to bounce and ricochet. You should fire off as much of these as possible. You can fire these over walls and entire buildings. It is a good way to take down tanks and big groups of enemies. His concussion mine can be placed anywhere, including the ground, walls, and ceilings. It has a 3 meter radius, a 10-second cooldown, and can do up to 120 damage. It can be detonated at any time, including midair. It can also be used to give you a boost up to any high ledge without doing damage to you. You can also use it to get the enemy off of the objective and get out of harm's way. Junkrat's Steel Trap can be placed anywhere on the ground and will leave the enemies immobile for 3 seconds. It does 80 damage to anyone who steps on the trap, so it leaves them weaker. A notification will pop up on your screen when somebody is trapped. One of the problems with the Steel Trap is that when somebody is trapped, you only have 3 seconds to kill them, so you have to constantly stay close to it. A good way to fix this problem is to put a concussion mine near the trap so that you can detonate it at any time without having to be close. Junkrat has a passive called Total Mayhem. What it does is that whenever you die, you drop a couple of bombs on the ground that explode and can do up to 300 damage. If you know you're about to die, you should try to get close to the enemy so that your bombs will finish them off. Junkrat's ult is called Riptire. It takes 1 second to activate and you can drive it around for 10 seconds. It does 600 damage within a 10 meter radius and is good at taking out groups of enemies and weakening tanks. It is very fast and can climb up walls. However, it has 100 HP and can be destroyed before it reaches its destination. Junkrat can do lots of damage and can kill most heroes with a couple of shots. He is very good against flankers with his Steel Trap, and is best at defending objective points and keeping enemies in choke points. Junkrat has a relatively low amount of HP and has trouble fighting multiple targets by himself. He has trouble fighting moving targets since his explosives take time to reach their target. He is very weak at fighting in close quarters since his explosives bounce around and can do damage to himself. You should pick him when defending objective points. Although he is good at attacking, he is better at defending since his Steel Trap would be more useful. You should also choose him when you have 1 or more tanks to hide behind, so you can stay within the battle while not getting too close. He should always stay near the back of the group so he can play the artillery role. You should target Soldier 76 since he cannot easily escape your trap and he takes a lot of damage from your explosives. Also target Bastion and Torbjorn since their turrets cannot move, and you can easily shoot them without them even seeing you by shooting over a wall. You should try to avoid Reaper and Mei since they do lots of damage up close and can escape your trap. You should also avoid Tracer and Pharah since they are nearly impossible to hit, with Tracer blinking everywhere and Pharah flying in the air. He does lots of damage and can kill most enemies with a couple of shots. He is good against flankers with the steel trap and is best at defending objective points and keeping enemies in choke points. He has a very low amount of HP and has trouble fighting multiple targets by himself. He is very weak at fighting in close quarters. You should pick him when defending an objective. He should stay near the back of the group and play as the artillery role. You should target Soldier 76, Bastion, and Torbjorn. You should try to avoid Reaper, Mei, Tracer, and Pharah. Junkrat is a great hero and is fairly easy to learn. He can do lots of damage to enemies and is a great hero to have on your team. He gets a 2.5 out of 5 stars for difficulty. If you want to cause chaos for the other team, Junkrat is the character for you. Anyways, I'm Sornraid, and thanks for watching.